On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, we have our conference championship games officially set. Mike's Bills punched their ticket to get to go play the refs in Kansas City, and the NFC Beast showed off its dominance as the Commanders crushed the top-seeded Lions, and former New York Giant Saquon Barkley ran all over the Rams. Get excited for the full divisional round recap and our previews and official picks in Heat Check at the end of the show, so lock in, and here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, I am here, as always. My name is Sasha with my wonderful co-hosts, Mike and Sarah, and what a weekend of football we had. Shout out Roger Goodell. Hat tip here to Big Ol' Rod for putting on that divisional weekend of football. That was outstanding. I loved every minute. Very, very excited. I'm happy.
Trying to get open, fires away. It's over. The Bulls win at the buzzer.
Well done. Well, very, very excited. Before we get into the games, little coaching updates. We need to touch on this. Sarah, need to do a pulse check, see how you're feeling. Ben Johnson, officially hired by the Chicago Bears. The Cowboys are still coachless. How are you holding up?
Not well. That was some devastating news. I mean, I kind of was braced for it because, like I said last week, it seemed like I was kind of the only one really circulating the Ben Johnson news in terms of the Cowboys. Like,
You
there was
tried.
no real association otherwise. So
You gave it your best shot. You did
we
what you
did.
could.
We did. I was kind of hoping the Bears took Mike McCarthy too, but I guess that means he's going to New Orleans because that was the other team that they were affiliating him with, aside from the Bears. But yeah, coaching talks for us not going so well. Seems like emerging favorites as of late is someone I'm embarrassed to say like didn't even consider is our current offensive coordinator for the past 2 years, Brian Schottenheimer. He
Okay.
is, as of today, emerging as a favorite. I don't know if that means that things have not gone as they planned with, obviously they talk with Dion, Robert Salah, Kellen Moore has not been interviewed yet because, right? Because interviews couldn't have started. until
Correct.
this
Yeah,
time
you're
of
right.
year.
Not with him. No,
No,
not with
that-
Kellen Moore.
Nope. Joe Brady's interviewing.
Well, I think it
Really?
was just as of
Yeah.
Sunday.
We just okay. Just
So
as a
maybe
two. Okay.
Today's Tuesday. So yeah, it seems like that was kind of the top tier. There were some discussions of people throwing around Jason Witten.
Okay.
Interesting move. Honestly, wouldn't hate it. I mean, he knows the locker room. He still played with some of
You
these
might
guys.
hate it.
Yeah, I think you'd hate that.
I don't know if he wears the toupee, I would hate it. But if he doesn't, then I think we'd be okay. Maybe.
Goes full bald.
Yeah, it was a toupee or hair plugs, whatever he had going on when he tried to be in the broadcast.
That's a
was
toupee.
not good. Yeah, that seemed like a
Too
toupee.
fast for plugs.
True.
He just seems like such a boring guy.
No, I feel like he brings some fire. I think he does. I mean, Broyan guy, our offensive coordinator, who no one even knew existed. I mean, did you guys know who that was our offensive coordinator, Brian?
No.
What's
Schottenheimer?
his name?
Brian Schottenheimer.
Marty's son.
He came from the Seahawks, I believe, prior to coming to the Cowboys 2 years ago.
Legion
he
of
replaced
Boom.
Kellen Moore. Yeah. So
Sick defense.
I was starting to hear some Kellen Moore news circulate about maybe that
Yeah.
would be a good move.
Yes, I feel like it's kind of weird that today this Brian has emerged as the favorite because I don't think they've interviewed Kellen yet. I mean, I guess they know him, so how much is riding on this interview, who knows? But none of these options sound good to me, to be frank. So I feel like at this point, I'm just going to ride with whoever we go with and set the bar very low and hope it only goes up from there.
I was looking around at just some possible news. I would say Bleacher Report, I don't know if they're credible at all. Their official pick for the Dallas Cowboys job that they think was going to get hired was Ron Rivera. So that one made me laugh.
No, thank you. Pass.
Sarah does not like people who've had cancer.
Yeah, we know about
I
that.
actually like
That's
Ron Rivera. I'm a
established.
fan, but head coaching, no. Would
Not-
we take him as a coordinator or like a mentor to our coach? Sure, why not? But we don't need
Just a big brother.
yeah, a mentor-mentee relationship here. So yeah, I didn't see that one in my recent. I haven't heard that. So Who knows? I feel like everyone's just taking shots in the dark guesses here because no one really knows what's going on in Jerry.
Yeah, I feel like everybody really hides everything too because it just seemed like the more news that kept coming out, the more it seemed like Ben Johnson was not going to the Bears, and then that's exactly what happened. So it's like every one of these articles I read, I just take with a tremendous grain of salt and just try to grab onto the funniest thing I saw. It was also the same article said that the Raiders were going to hire Pete Carroll, so I think they probably have no idea what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's very spry. He's spry for an old man.
He is. He does not look as old. His nose looks fucked up also. I don't know if he got hit back in the day a couple times, but I feel like I haven't seen his face in a while. It looks like he did take a beating. And also, it just seems the only thing, the constant in the world seems like Aaron Glenn is going to the Jets.
Love that. I love that for them. I love that fit.
Just, we haven't seen them with a good defensive, high energy coach in a while, have we?
Yeah, I mean, I want them bring that blitz package with them when they come to the Jets, please.
Bring it. And then also just saw recently official news, just as basically the time we're recording this, the Patriots officially bring back and hire Josh McDaniels as their new OC.
Oh, God.
So they're just running that back. Congrats, I guess.
With that move. Oh.
The players love Josh.
Yeah, seems like it, right? There's never any bad locker room issues there.
Nope, not with Josh.
But they're just bringing the whole band back together. Vrabel, they're just old names. So like, you guys remember when we were great? Let's just do this again.
You know, it was a lot. The whole was it Belichick or was it Brady? Debate.
Yeah,
that still goes on. It definitely was Brady and not Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, it was not Josh McDaniels. He was not the third option.
So, are you I think he is definitely a product of Tom Brady.
Without a doubt. We'll see.
Great
see how the AFC East around you is just crumbling.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I love it.
You're quite all right with it. Moving on now. Go to the divisional round recap. As we mentioned, tremendous weekend of football from wall to wall. Very exciting games. Lots of fun. We'll go in chronological order as always. Texans at Chiefs. Chiefs win 23-14. Sara just narrowly avoiding your 8.5-point cover. They just couldn't get that 1 point. Texans stood more of a chance than I expected. I didn't know if it was going to be a close game. Mike kind of talked me into the Texans defense a little bit, and they did kind of do their job. Like, they played well, but you can't leave 7 points on the board with your kicker and special teams and expect to beat Kansas City.
And the refs.
And the refs.
And the refs.
I figure I do want to talk about that. I want to talk about the game a little bit. I guess give the Chiefs their props. I don't know how Travis Kelce is always so open. Everybody else, it's like, oh, you Lamar. It's like you got to have a Lamar spy, or if there's like an amazing receiver, Belichick's thing was always double team that guy and put your best guy on their second receiver. Like, how does nobody just have we're double teaming Patrick Mahomes, or we're putting a linebacker just in his pocket the whole game? I don't understand. Maybe I'm just dumb for not being able to understand NFL defenses, but it just seems like there's got to be some way to stop this madness every time.
We don't know yet. I don't think.
Nobody knows.
We're probably a couple days away from figuring out how to stop the madness.
Okay.
I feel like it's crazy how Travis Kelce, him turning it on for the playoffs is the most consistent and predictable thing. And it's so wild that he kind of coasts his way through the regular season and continues to do this. We know it's coming. You knew he was going to have a huge game and he's going to continue to have big games in the playoffs. It's just something that he's able to do. And it's crazy. I feel like to that point, how is he able to get so open? How is he able to just take it up this extra notch just for that postseason continually?
He does look like he's running in almost the wrong shoes. He's so slow. It's incredible.
He's 10 yards away from the nearest defender. It's he runs slow, but he's still, he catches the ball 10 yards downfield, then can run another 15 before he's even touched.
Do you think Taylor Swift is up in the box? Kind of. You guys watch Harry Potter?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember in the I think it was the first one where Severus Snape is over there just incanting them while they're playing Quidditch? Mm-hmm. This is for all our Harry Potter fans. Do you think it's one of those where she's just up there doing witchcraft and getting into their minds?
So there was a witch sitting next to Taylor Swift this most recent game.
Yeah, she brought Caitlin Clark, who did look like from the she crawled out of the TV from The Ring.
Or do you think
she's very talented?
spoiler alert for Harry Potter. Do you think that she's actually doing the anti-spells and trying to protect Travis and Paul Rudd and Eric Stonestreet, other famous people, or what's going on? Who's the bad guy here?
Oh, well, I guess
because Snape was doing the spells, but it was to protect him.
He was trying to do bad.
He was doing anti-spells.
Is bad, and then maybe it's. I love Modern Family. Maybe it was Eric Stonestreet.
Love that show.
Paul Rudd's definitely like he hasn't aged. I mean, he looks the same age. He's like 60.
Yep. He's a
Don't
witch.
fact check me on that, but he's old.
Older than you think. Still looks great. Very handsome.
Mm.
But yeah, just
great analysis.
Overall, very, very frustrating game. I mean, it's the same thing happens. And it's just at the end of the day, they don't make mistakes. And I've always been of the belief, I know Mike and I have butted heads on this a bit. I don't think the NFL is rigged. I don't think it's completely set up for one team to win. I think it's sports. And I just don't want to believe that there's some higher power pulling all the strings. But I don't understand how somebody that watches a lot of sports and can, like, with an objective mind, can watch all 4 of these playoff games and not think that there is at least a Mahomes double standard. Every one of these games and every one of the other quarterbacks all took hits that were significantly worse than any of the ones that got flagged for Patrick Mahomes. And there was not a 5-yard penalty, a fifth. There was nothing called. Every one of the quarterbacks, I feel like I was watching so specifically, every one of the quarterbacks got hit somewhere, sometime, slightly out of bounds, got lit up just after throwing the ball away. And they were all so much worse than what happened to Mahomes. And Mahomes got, 30 total yards of penalties on those 2 plays? It is an absolute double standard. And I am fine with there being protection for quarterbacks because we've all seen what teams look like when their starting quarterback is not in the game. And, like, that's a bad product, no matter what team. If you want to protect them, you can't touch any of them. I'm fine with it. But when it's just him and Jared Goff is getting blown up on a pick 6, Lamar's getting hip drop tackled out of bounds, CJ Stroud is getting hit just after he throws the ball, and there's not even a hint of a whistle, it's fucking
Josh
astonishing.
Allen took a helmet to helmet too. I know you're going to leave it out, but he did. That's okay.
He did. Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
He doesn't need protections.
Jalen Hurts is getting hit out of bounds. It's like do it across the board, protect everybody or protect nobody, and I'm fine with it either way. But just having it be only him is just unacceptable, and it's infuriating. It really ruins the game. It makes it not frustrating. It's like, and they don't make mistakes. It takes away from how good the Chiefs are because all you're doing the whole time is thinking about how do they keep getting this fucking lucky? And it's like, they do. It's astonishing and it sucks and I hate it.
Maybe they wouldn't get. Maybe they would make some mistakes if every time it was like an important play, they knew he could just tiptoe around and fake slide to get a first down. Maybe if he had to actually play football for the full 60 minutes and not know that he was going to get bailed out, there'd be some more chances that they'd have to take. They can go to 3rd and 8 because he can flop around and dance around, and then if it's still breaking down, well, let me just get a few yards in front and I'll just wait for somebody to hit me and I'll take a dive and we'll get the first down that way.
Yeah, I agree. That rule, that's fucking bullshit. That is so infuriating. That is so frustrating when he does the shit where I'm a runner until it's not convenient for me and does it.
I'm not a runner. I'm a quarterback.
So I think everybody else needs to do it. I don't know why anybody else isn't doing it. I think it's just, Josh Allen I think his brain's just a little broken and there's 0% chance you could convince him to not take a hit or to like pretend to go down and like make it look worse than it is. But like some of these other quarterbacks need to start doing that. Like they need to change the rule, but if they're not going to change the rule, it can't just be Mahomes. I'm a runner. Bait them into like taking a hit at me and then make it look way worse and beg for the flag because like that rule is insane. And it's either other people need to take advantage of it. I think that's what it is. Other people need to start taking advantage of it so that they'll change it. If it becomes a rampant problem with every quarterback other than the one who's just won 2 straight Super Bowls, then they'll change the rule because I can't do it.
I'll be full transparency, not total homer. Josh Allen does some pretty good flopping on contact in the pocket.
I've seen him do those like throws.
He does some good roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually, my biggest thing is two of those Texans players went helmet to helmet because he dove down trying to pretend to be a runner, then slid. They went helmet to helmet and almost killed each other. I got an issue with that one. Like, I'm not excusing Josh on his antics, and honestly, I think any antics in the pocket, the refs got to be smart, but the quarterbacks can. I'm fine with that. But when
That's the
you get
difference.
out
It's in the
of the
pocket. Yeah.
pocket, right? When you're in the field of play, he's going to get other guys hurt because they're pulling up, they're trying not to hit them. They have to change their bodies going at full speed and make all these weird decisions that it's really affecting not only the game, but like I watched those two guys go out and hurt themselves. Like, be a man and take a hit, or slide early.
Or be an Eli Manning that doesn't leave the pocket, and as soon as he does, shits his pants. It's like, I don't. What am I doing out here? What am I doing out here? Like, you can't have it both ways.
Josh, Mahomes, when they went to push him on the sideline, it looked like they were pushing him off the Empire State Building. He fell as though there was no ground on the outside of the boundary. I was expecting him to be like screaming as though he was about to plummet to his death. Yep. That reaction.
Yep.
There'll be no clear way to do it. We got to look into how the NBA has really cut down on like the James Harden, Trae Young, their flopping, because I think they did like some serious damage to the league still. I think they turned a lot of people off for years. If more quarterbacks start doing this, it's going to be an unwatchable product for a lot of these games.
Yeah. Well, because it's insane. And Mahomes is kind of at the point where he uses his feet when he needs to, but he's not like a running quarterback too much. Like, he's not Lamar. Like, if Lamar started doing that, every one of his runs would be another 15 yards. It's like, oh, he's running for 90 yards a game. It's like on 7 runs, you can basically tack on another 120 yards because he's getting penalties on the end of every one of them.
And every one of those penalties is points for the other team. With the way that everybody can kick field goals, you're almost guaranteeing 3 points. I think 15-yard penalties should be able to be reviewed.
I agree completely.
All of them. Anything that's 15 yards.
And just the expedited review. Like,
they always act like they have to bring out this monitor, like they have to wheel it out. Like, there's teams of people. We're all here. Call me. Call Sara. She'll tell you. She's a doctor. You can wear the cowboy hat.
Sara has 20 cents on this game. She can't be trusted.
But I'm just saying, it's not like they act like they have to do this slow. The time it takes them to get the ref into the monitor, they already know what's going on. We all know before they even start to review what it's going to be. With the with 4K, So, well, I don't understand. That earpiece is connected to New York. That's how they do expedited reviews. Just do all 15-yard penalties. I get you got to throw the flag because pace of play and you got to keep the game going. You got to make a decision. But then there needs to be like a 30-second huddle on these hopefully not 6, like 2 to 4 15-yard type plays where they wait, they listen, and they go, we're picking up that flag. Yeah. They do it for other flags.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that's a really great way to do it, and there needs to be some kind of check and balance because, they review that play and
they open the quarterbacks. They'll get killed.
I don't really blame the refs for making that call, the one where he slid and the 2 guys collided, because I'm sure they see those 2 defenders come in, they see Mahomes going down, and they hear the crash of the 2 helmets. And like, if they don't have a great angle on it, I don't blame them for saying like, oh, that was a head-to-head, because they heard 2 helmets crashing. And it's like literally 2 seconds of a replay would say, oh, that was the defenders hitting each other. Nothing bad happened to Mahomes. Let's pick that up. There's no reason that shouldn't be reviewed. And you're right, 15 yards in a 100-yard field, like, you're giving them 15% of the field. That's way too much to just be able to give away willy-nilly without a review.
And how about, like, even if they did make contact, they should be able to look at that play and go, no, this is bullshit. Yeah, they made helmet to helmet, because I have a huge issue with a lot of these helmet to helmet things, because the runners are changing the angle of their fucking heads too. And we all not hopefully not all of us, hopefully you guys at home, everybody, be a smart person when you watch. Slow motion always looks worse. Watch these games, watch the play happen in full speed, and you tell me how this guy who was not going for their head, now you duck down, there's your head. He doesn't have eyes out the top of his helmet. They're trying to hit with the shoulder. Some of these guys are dirty, and that's why you can't remove these penalties, because you get the Indomitian Sues and who's the really bad one who almost killed Antonio Brown? What was his name?
Vontez
Perfect. You get these guys in the league that, like, the minute you remove these penalties, it's like unlocking like a jail cell. Like, well, the prison, they're gonna kill somebody out there.
Yeah.
But there has to be some level of like, everybody take a breath. Let's look at this, and then let's make a better decision. And it would fix everything, because you'd eliminate the bad plays and still have the threat of these huge penalties. But now you're able to stop. I even think over the field helmet to helmets. They're not all bad. They're not all the same.
Yeah, and it is a contact game. I get that they're trying to avoid it, but there does need to be a little bit of protection for the defensive player. That's like, they're trying out here, and like, they're not like, for the person who's not trying to hurt somebody, like, they need to still be able to defend and hit and make the game fun and interesting. But I'm real.
Maybe just another wrinkle. What if if it's deemed at that point and they rewatch it and it's really bad, you're ejected right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like they could also pull it back. But if you creamed, if like the guy who hit Jared Goff, that play, like, I mean, I don't know. I would throw him out of the game.
Yeah. That was horrible.
Like, hey, dude, you're out. Sorry. Yeah. You egregiously broke this rule. Not 2 and then you're out. 1.
You give them enough rope to hang themselves with. You can play tough, you can play a little free, but if you fuck it up, the consequences are worse.
Right. There's a chance it could come back, but there's also a chance if you really were breaking the rules intentionally and we see it, you're done. Out.
Yeah.
Game over.
And shout out Sara, a little Cowboys win for you. I don't know if you really count this, but I'm just really hoping. This is the first time I've heard an announcer like Troy Aikman was coming out and was very openly against these calls, like publicly and like right in the moment. Yeah. I'm hoping things like that will instigate some sort of change, because this is the first time I feel like you've really heard an announcer like speaking against Mahomes, speaking like outspokenly against the way that the refs are calling him and the ways the refs are calling these games. So I was just like, shout out Troy.
Shout out. Yeah, I feel like he's pretty well respected across both league and in the media. So hopefully that leads to, a catalyst of change here. And obviously someone who played the position as well. You would think he would be biased in the quarterback eyes. So the fact that he's saying it is even more, I feel like something that should be taken seriously.
Agreed.
And why can't these penalties just have like a grade level? Like grade 1 is 15 yards, grade 2 is 10, and grade 3 is 5. Like they have more money, they have billions of dollars. There's got to be a way to make this better.
That does sound fun.
There are some roughing the passers, or even some face masks that are like, there's a face mask and then there's a face mask.
Yeah.
Why right. Are they all 15 yards?
Yep.
There's a roughing the passer that's, technically up head and neck, not good. And then there's one that it's like, dude, that's 15 yards. You fucking killed him there. Or you made the play impossible because of your roughing.
I would love for us to be able to argue like very, very general, like grade 1 and grade 2 penalties. That sounds like fun to me.
Listen, the media can do a lot. They need other things to talk about.
Yeah. Well, speaking of face backs, that's a good transition. Commanders at Lions, NFC Beast. Commanders beat the shit out of the Lions, 45-31. The Commanders give me hope for every team that I root for. Every bad team I root for just makes me feel like everything can change in one season, and I feel like I needed this. I don't know why. I don't hate the Commanders. I still don't hate them. I know I should. We've talked about this ad nauseum, Sara. I don't hate them. I don't know why. I don't hate them.
I think we just ride with them for this year, and then maybe next year we'll start to get annoyed if they're still good. But like, it's a success story that everyone is just like liking to see. They're playing with house money at this point, and they're playing like it. They're playing very loose, fluid. Jaden Daniels is like so. I can't even poised, I guess would be the best word to say, like out there. Like he just looks so calm, a silent assassin type energy, and it's fun to watch. I feel like you just can't help like, I don't know. I feel like even Dan Quinn, like I should be very upset about this, him leaving the
Yeah.
Cowboys, but like it's good to see him have another go at this after like the way he left the Falcons and everything. So they're fun to root for. I'm sure next year we'll be shooting ourselves in the foot and be upset that we said this, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's fun for now. And this was a great game. I mean, that second quarter was like absolutely insane
All
football.
timer.
Like on pace for over 100 points in this game was so wild. It slowed down as I feel like everyone predicted it was going to, but it was still like just an overall great game for a Saturday night.
Yeah. Best way to go into to end that weekend. I just kept thinking, I was like, the Lions are gonna turn it on at some point. The Lions are gonna figure it out. They're gonna come back. And the Commanders just didn't let off the gas. I mean, it's 45 points on the road. I get that the Lions defense is battered and they have that great Aaron Glenn defense that Mike's going to get to see 2 times a year moving forward.
Can't wait.
Yeah, but I mean, like we were talking about before, Jared Goff took that hard hit. But then there was also that, that David Montgomery face mask that wasn't a face mask that kept the drive alive. So it was bad calls on both sides that both kept drives alive. So that one doesn't feel as bad as the game we just talked about. But it was so fun. I just keep thinking the Commanders can't do it. I'm finding myself going into this weekend also. I don't know if I'm fully believing in them, which is also, I think, part of the reason I kind of like them. It just seems like they keep getting lucky. But like this was very, very much not lucky. And my big takeaway from this game was the Lions, I feel like, just fucked up their best chance at winning a Super Bowl.
It seems like that's the case for the Lions, but they are very young and very talented still.
Now, I just getting people to call those same plays, like if you're losing both your coordinators, I mean that's tough.
Maybe Ben Johnson. Maybe it'd be good to have somebody a little less. I don't agree with Ben Johnson's play calling in this game. There, I said it. It's very cool. How did Jahmyr Gibbs only run the ball 14 times?
Couldn't agree more.
It's a great. I'd be handing him his shit after the game. There you go. Go have fun in Chicago. What were they doing?
Jahmyr Gibbs is as special a talent in that game. I was like every time he touched the ball, even when it looked like he was going to be wrapped up in the backfield, it was like he still made something exciting happen.
It was laugh out loud. It was like this fucking guy. Every play, I was like laughing. I'm like, oh my God, like they cannot touch him. And then it would be like, here's Montgomery. And I'm like, I love Montgomery. Bring them both out there or put Montgomery back on the bench. 14 carries that's how you lose games like this. That's how you lose these games. That and Aaron Glenn blitzing like crazy. But I'm just saying on the Ben Johnson side, those are some really cool plays. He does it. He's too loosey-goosey with it. I'm not putting the season on Jameson Williams to make a good decision.
Yeah, don't have him roll out.
Sorry. Yeah. If I needed him to like catch something, like I'm thinking in life, would I let him babysit my kid? No. Would I let him like chase down somebody who robbed my house? Probably. Like, dude, he's fast. He's not smart. He's an incredible athlete. That was a terrible play.
It was a little crazy. And all those things look great when they work and when you're up 14 and you're trying to put a team away. But when you're down and nothing's really, things haven't been clicking the same way, your defense isn't getting stops, the flowery foo-foo plays, not as great. But that's kind of, you're playing the results. I don't know. I still think it's fun to watch. I think it's exciting. Will always be on the side of being a proponent of people trying new shit, not just doing the same thing. Like, oh, it's 1st and 10. That means you run the ball between the tackles. It's the second down. And then it's just somebody who's going to try double shovel passes, going to make the game interesting, fun to watch. I don't know. I completely agree. It's like when it comes to nut cutting time, you're down in the playoffs. Give the ball to Gibbs. give the ball to St. Brown. Those are the two guys that got you there. Those are your dogs. Even Hawkinson. I just make those guys make the play for you.
Yeah, two sayings come to mind. One I read today, and I thought was a very just great way to put it. Every football game has its own DNA. Every individual game. And the second saying is, if somebody shows you who they are, believe them. They could not stop the run. Your defense couldn't get stops. Run the ball. Put that game in a headlock and take it over. And there's this game's DNA did not require all of the shit he was doing. And it's not like we didn't have proof. Jahmyr Gibbs, I've never seen. I'm trying to think of a running back game perform. It's like Adrian Peterson. Like, this guy is unstoppable.
Yeah.
Unstoppable.
It was unbelievable to watch.
14 rushes. You're fired. You're fired.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to disagree with you. And it's hard to because I do feel that. I feel like two things can be true at the same time. I do believe that, but I also believe the Commanders did everything they needed to do. I mean, Jaden Daniels was unbelievable. It felt like 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, it didn't matter. He was finding somebody open. He was dropping a dime in the bucket to De'Ami Brown. He was fine. Eckler was having some great catches. No matter everybody they turned to, the play calling was great. With Kingsbury and his butthole eyes, he was doing it. He was doing everything right. So it's just like a shout out to them. I feel like I am kind of disappointed in the Lions. I was rooting for the Lions. I really wanted them to get there. I would love that story. I would love to see the fans be able to actually have some joy in their life, just an eternally sad fan base. I don't know.
They have Eminem.
Good for them.
He's a legend.
Yeah, I suppose. The little trust tree here. Not a big Eminem guy. Not an Eminem fan at all.
No?
No.
I feel like you didn't play sports growing up.
Rude, but I don't know what that has to do with anything. It seems
Sasha
mean.
was a crazy lacrosse player. You didn't know that?
Lacrosse?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
okay.
state.
Why'd you say it like that?
I'm just trying to picture it.
Sarah's trying to pick up her jaw. Sasha, the athlete.
At the end of it, it just seemed like there was so much anger that I just don't understand. It seemed like he was so angry at things, and I wasn't. Still not.
Wait, what are you not angry about? Who's not angry?
Anything. Eminem. Just seems like, why is he
Eminem.
yelling?
Oh my God, I was thinking about sports. I'm like, wait, what are we talking about?
No,
so who's your top? Who do you like in rap?
Well, until recently, he doesn't like me so much.
Did you like him pre? Didn't that kind of make it like him more?
Yeah, because I can't have him.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be around me. A big Kanye fan. Yeah, I would say that's probably the number one still. Separate the art from the artist. Big R. Kelly guy. Does that count?
Right. Geez. Yeah. R. Kelly, of course.
Yeah. Another separate the art from the artist. Yeah. Basically, I think what I like in artists is me having to really explain why I like them. Me having to stand on and actually over on this bookshelf right here, weird thing I have, signed R. Kelly autobiography.
That's going to be worth some money after his execute. Is he being executed? Just life in prison?
Kind of hope so. But
Sasha has a really deep cut Jeffrey Epstein album that he made. It was a folk album.
Uncle Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's good guy.
He's actually really, really great on the acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Took me on my first vacation down to the Caribbean. It was beautiful.
All right.
Moving on to Sunday. Talking about incredible running back performances. The Eagles absolutely dominate the Rams 22-8. I feel like that scoreline ended up being a little closer because the Eagles just feel like they always try to want to give games away. But Sarah, I feel like I need to hear this from you. Is it crazy that I find myself rooting for Saquon a little bit?
In your position, yes.
Yes.
I do feel like Saquon is more likable than he should be, though, because I have nothing against him, despite the fact that he was on the Giants and then the Eagles. I kind of like him. Like, wow, this is quite amazing what he's doing. So I feel like he definitely has something likable about him, and he's not very intimidating for how I feel like good of a running back he is. Like, I don't think he comes across as like personality-wise. I don't know. It feels like he seems like he'd be a fun guy to be around, a very nice guy.
He's like dateable.
Yeah, very dateable, mild-mannered.
I guess mild mannered. I feel like that's a good way to describe him.
Yeah,
like,
I think Mike's viewing it a little differently, but yeah.
Okay, but Anyway,
Mike's just like, yeah, he's a guy I can just bring home to mom.
Yeah.
This game, I feel like so annoying. The Eagles, like second to the Chiefs with just like luck on their side. The weather totally played into their favor here. I mean, the conditions just progressively worse as the game went in the snow. Stafford looked so terrible. Like it's so terrible. The third quarter, it was pain. It was painful to watch. They somehow kind of clawed themselves back into it, but it just like was like pulling teeth to get that offense to do anything productive, running the ball, passing the ball, any of it. So I feel like it just all played out into the Eagles' favor. And here they are again, now getting the Commanders instead of the Lions, which I don't know, matchup wise, I feel like I would have felt better about them playing the Lions. I don't know.
For sure. And they would have had to go on the road.
Yeah, that too. The big thing there. So it's just all playing out in their favor. And it sucks. But yeah, I mean, Saquon, I guess he's fun to watch. So I guess we'll root for that. Maybe. I don't know.
It's just like I feel like I made this analogy to Mike before. It just feels like I'm just kind of happy for him. It feels like I was like a real piece of shit. It was like a real piece of shit and was like dating somebody, and then they went off to like greener pastures, and it's like, yeah, I guess I'm happy for him. I wanted the best for him. They were too good for me anyway. So it just I just feel like I'm happy to see him have success. I'm happy to see him like have these 200+ yard games, be the focal point of a winning team's offense that has a defense that can stop people. I hate the rest of the team. Jalen Hurts seems incredibly unlikable. For as likable as Saquon is, I just think Jalen Hurts is the complete opposite. Every interview with him seems like the most annoying thing ever. I mean, just that 50-something yard run to start off the game was just like, oh my God, of course, this is just how it's going to go. If he's breaking these, like, what is Saquon actually going to do? I don't know. Obviously, I clearly rooting for the Commanders in this game that we'll get to when we actually talk about the game, but I don't know. I was rooting for the Rams the whole game, but then every time I was seeing Saquon do something sick, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's so
Well, if you love something, let it go.
I let it go. He left. I didn't let it go. I didn't really have a choice. I tried to keep it. I was clutching, grabbing at his ankles as he walked out of the door.
I don't like his hoop earring. Doesn't Saquon have a hoop earring?
I feel like Jalen Hurts.
Or am I making that up?
Because I'm picturing Jalen
I don't like
Hurts.
Hurts' hoop earring. That's who I don't like. That's Michael Jordan's. Get off Michael Jordan's block. MJ wears the hoop.
He just wants to be
Jalen?
MJ. Jalen's gonna come in with a Hitler stash too, like Michael did.
Did you hear Jalen interviewed after the game?
About the run?
No, he was just very clearly like on Percocet.
Just faded.
He was like smiling and he was like, rain, sleet, or snow, the Eagles ready to go. You got to watch the video. I've never heard him talk this much in his life. Big smile, big Aaron Rodgers, that interview a couple years ago when he adopted a Southern accent. Money.
Yeah. Oh, well, speaking of adopting Southern accents, Bills 27, Ravens 25. Josh Allen, want to just start there, end of the game? Where'd that little Southern accent come from?
I didn't even really pick up on it. I had a lot of, it was the end of the game. It was the end of the game for me too. I don't know. He was tearing up. I'd have to go back and re-listen. Was it really very Southern?
It definitely had some weird twang coming in and out. It's like, we got to go out there play that football game. Like, what? You're from Frisco?
Well, Josh Allen, first of all, Southern, isn't he from Northern California? I don't know.
I think middle, I think like Frisco County-ish. I think what Fireball, right? Out of somewhere in the middle of California.
Yes, Fireball. He takes a lot of headshots, and I don't know. Maybe it just takes a minute for like it all to come back.
Yeah, what was that?
I don't care how. I'm just happy he's standing, talking, loving our team.
It was the his girlfriend that came out. It's like, I'm just dating billionaire owners now, not these concussed CTE players.
Yeah. We'll see. We gotta bookmark that. See how she's doing in a few years.
Yeah. But Ravens 25, Bills 27. Hell of a game. Sarah, before we let Mike break down, you have a note here I would like you to say out loud.
I put this in right after the game, so I'm sorry if it's a little harsh, but Mark Andrews won you this game. I was just like, I don't know why,
Typical.
But as this was going on, I just like felt myself rooting for the Ravens for no reason against
Whoa!
you. For no reason against you. I just like, I don't
thought
know.
we were friends here.
the way the game was going, like I don't know. But now I'm happy. I'm happy for you and I'm happy for the Bills. This was me speaking on my notes Sunday night, okay? And it was just like one of those things where I got invested and I was just getting so pissed off at Mark Andrews. Like, I'm sorry, but the Ravens, the momentum was significantly in their favor when he had that fumble, and then that totally flipped the switch. And then obviously we all saw the dropped pass and the 2-point conversion. But I will say probably too much time left on the clock for Josh Allen at that point. So it's not even a given there. But still, like Mark Andrews single-handedly handed this over. Lamar wasn't great. He was not amazing, but he played well, and the rest of the team kind of showed up and did their job. And I felt like here, like I'm not one to kind of pinpoint things on one player, but like I feel like this loss, the target has to be on him there.
Yeah, I mean, that's typical of everybody. Just, don't blame it all on Mark Andrews. You know what? You know what, Sasha? Do you guys know? You know why Sara doesn't like him?
Why?
He's diabetic.
Just any sort of disease.
She's got a problem
right?
with anybody that's not like elite.
Right. Sarah's so busy dealing with sick people all day in her day job.
She can't stand the look of them.
Right. As soon as anybody that doesn't, anybody requiring medical attention, ugh.
Yeah.
His
blood sugar was low.
I said that. And then I was like, well, maybe in the cold, because he's a diabetic, this is getting high level here, but diabetics get neuropathy. They don't have good feeling in their hands and feet. Like sometimes they lose sensation. And in the cold, I'm like, maybe he is really not having good like sensory reception to his hands. And that's why he was fumbling and dropping the passes.
Why didn't you tell us this before? We gotta start checking who else is diabetic in the league, and we gotta start betting on this.
I know.
I think it's just him.
I think it really is. It's very hard to be a type 1 diabetic and play professional sports.
But let's shit on him and ruin his whole life, even though he's had a great career.
It's not ruining his life. He's going to be perfectly
You know what?
fine.
Maybe it was that he didn't have hands and feeling in his hands and feet, and Lamar Jackson threw it at his feet, and he had to catch it with his hands. Could that have been it? Lamar Jackson pump faked that he had him, and he waited to the last possible second to throw it because he just, I don't know. When he gets his 4th MVP, he's going to figure this all out, guys. And you know what? Maybe I'll root for them too. We should all just root for the Ravens. Because you know what? That was great. He threw a fair catch interception in a humongous moment in the playoff game.
Yeah.
What do we think of that?
What
was that? And the refs are saying it's Matt Milano. Matt Milano wasn't Matt Milano. All right, we're not just going to trash Lamar Jackson.
This is Mike between a rock and a hard place of wanting to compliment Matt Milano and also diss Lamar Jackson. This is where fuck, I don't know which road to take.
Undisclosed injury for Matt Milano. I don't know if we all are. I am very nervous to hear what's going on with him because something's going on. He didn't play the last drive. I'm just happy that Baltimore can send all 9 of their Pro Bowlers to the Pro Bowl now. I think that's really good.
We got to have something to do that weekend between the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Lamar won't have to take any time away preparing for the Super Bowl to work on his MVP speech.
That's good. You're really
getting all good things, guys. Cheer up, Baltimore.
You guys did him a favor.
It was never your day. It was never your day, Baltimore. The Bills, when they run the ball more than 50% of the time during Josh Allen's tenure and Sean McDermott, do you know what their record is?
Good, I imagine.
It's 36-0.
Well, that could be one of those misleading stats because at the end of the game, when you're already up, you end up running the ball a lot, and then that could skew the statistics of, like, obviously if you're running the ball, if you have to pass a lot more.
Okay, so let's say 15 of them are that. They're 21-0 in games where they just choose to dominate you by running.
That makes sense.
Our change to adopting the run in these kind of big games is what is going to put us over the top as a team. Our offense is so much more dynamic when we are able to incorporate the run 3 yards 3 times. This is what I'm saying, because like every time, if you're getting 3 yards a run, that's not great. But with the way our team plays, if you run the ball 3 times, you get 9 yards. It's a tush push first down. Yeah. We're starting to realize that we can play this kind of offense and not get behind where we're punting the ball every time. We used to get so quick triggered to get away from that and 5 wide Josh Allen save us. And it's like our offensive line is, I think that they're the best offensive line in the league.
Definitely the best.
They are. They are. That's the number 1 run defense we played last week, and that's the number 3 run defense we played last week. We had 367 rushing yards in those 2 games.
It's pretty good.
Our offensive line is consistently making something out of nothing because they're manhandling people. That is the difference in the game. That is the difference in the team. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this was all Josh Allen. It wasn't. The fear of Josh Allen is a lot of what opens up things for us. But our controlling at the line of scrimmage on offense is just, we've never had a team like this ever. We're going to go out there and we're going to bully the Chiefs and we're going to bully the Eagles, or maybe the Commanders, but probably the Eagles. And that's how I see it. There's not even what more insight can we give? They changed the bet offensively. I don't know. It was a boring game. We just took care of business. Josh Allen running, Ray Davis running, Cook running. The only receiver over 15 yards receiving was Khalil Shakir, who was great.
Yeah, that's the only thing that worries me about the game. I felt like the play calling, especially in the second half, just got a little funky.
So conservative. I didn't love it.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, so your drives in the second half were punt, field goal, end of game. That just doesn't. That doesn't.
Win.
I get it, but that's what scares me. Is it feels like you guys got conservative with the play calling, and Baltimore just continued to make mistakes. Like what you guys were crushing it in the first half, and then it just felt like the momentum started to shift to the Ravens. It was like, if it wasn't for the turnovers and some of those drop passes, this could have gotten real scary, and it would have had to obviously that last drive would have, you had a minute and 33 seconds left
and 2 timeouts.
2 or 3? I thought you had all 3. Maybe I was wrong.
I think it was 2, maybe 3. It's an eternity.
Yeah. So I agree, but it would have had to change everything. It scares me, especially just all I'm thinking about watching this whole game is I need you to get through it and I need you to beat the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. And I'm worrying about on the road that you can't take your foot off the gas like that against the Chiefs, and putting that, it's because if Mark Andrews doesn't have that fumble, if Lamar doesn't have one of those 2 fumbles or those turnovers, if Mark Andrews catches that 2-point conversion, there are a lot of opportunities that they fucked up. And I just saw the Bills had the opportunity to put it away even more, and it just scared me a little bit that they didn't.
Did they fuck it up, or did we make these things happen? That's the question.
Yeah, nature, nurture,
Andrews, no.
chicken, egg.
Terrell Bernard, go watch the fumble. Terrell Bernard, that was an amazing punch out. That is like they're going to train. That's how every kid in high school should watch that video when they're learning how to play linebacker. Damar Hamlin creating that pressure on Lamar Jackson and batting the ball out of his hands. First of all, Lamar, you should have known to go down. You're the most valuable player of the league. How do you not know to go down? God. Hero ball shit. I would know nothing about that because we don't do that. We just play consistent. But Lamar, yes, they made some mistakes, but we made our defense made plays. Our defense all year has made plays. We are an opportunistic defense that is being coached up to they are peaking, they're playing at their highest potential, and every time you get the ball and you take a step, we're trying to get that ball. It's not even necessarily trying to stop the pass. It's the minute the pass is out, we are peanut punching, we are ripping at the ball, and it's I said to my wife while we were watching, it's like it's over time. It's this pressure over time. Every time you get it, you're not getting a clean, you're getting your arm yanked, you're holding onto the ball for dear life. Eventually we're going to get one. Watch I mean, most football games, we are way more on the ball than most teams.
Yeah, and you need to keep doing that.
Makes a huge difference,
especially in the playoffs.
With Mahomes,
need it.
Well, spin zone with the Ravens game. This is what I came to in my mind as to why, because I didn't love that conservative game either. Derrick Henry is a problem. That's what the kids say. Derrick Henry. They're going to say Derrick Henry was a problem. I think had we not tried to take as much, we were trying to fast forward the game to the end, because I think the more opportunities you give them, even if we are scoring and moving the ball faster, Derrick Henry was going to start to come alive. Whereas if you take which he did in the third quarter. I mean, that was the drive was like, oh God, thank God that wasn't in the first quarter. Like he ran it down our throats. But we took enough time away to where they had to put out Justice Hill because it's like you can't just be methodical. You are behind now more than one score. And I don't think we're going to need that against the Chiefs because I'm not afraid of Kareem Hunt. I'm not afraid of Isaiah Pacheco. He has not been the same since he came back from a broken leg. And I'm not scared of the Chiefs' offensive line. They have Joe Thuney move from left guard to left tackle because they just could not find somebody to play, or right tackle. They could not find somebody to play the position. They are vulnerable. They were vulnerable when we played them last time, and everything changes. Hollywood Brown's back. That concerns me. Xavier Worthy's getting better. But I was way more on edge for the Ravens offensive attack and their offensive line, believe it or not, than I am for the Chiefs.
You guys beat them once. You went
5-5, Josh Allen and him in their last 10. Do you know that? Exactly 251 points scored by both teams.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Teams in the playoffs that have beaten a team 3 times. In the fourth time, I've never won a fourth time.
Okay.
Like 3-0 teams.
Those are good
like
stats.
In playoff. Yep.
Honestly, this is stupid. I guess actually, we can never mind. We'll bring that up in our actual
Tyler
weekend
Bass
preview.
automatic too, guys. How about that?
Is he still doing the one eye black?
Yeah. Why change? Don't change. You're perfect.
Yeah, he can't.
You're perfect.
Yeah. You're perfect just the way you are.
I couldn't watch
Tyler.
the 51-yarder. I was in I stood in the bathroom.
and just had to listen.
To put you where Bills fans are at, my wife was like, "He made it!" Like it was like very like shit. And I was like, "He did?
No way!" Oh my God! So
I think everything's going in the right direction. Just my last. Let me close with this. You are, whether Josh Allen puts up 300 yards or whether he puts up 100 yards, the way he's affecting a game and the way that this team is playing together is beautiful. This is why they created the game of football.
Yeah.
Like this is beautiful. You are watching, and now you're going to get to watch 2 MVP, not MVP. Sorry. Only one. Mahomes the only one with an MVP. You're going to watch 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks go at it again. This is when everybody, what are you going to do in Manning and Brady? This is what it is. This is the next Manning and Brady. Just enjoy it. I'm enjoying this, guys. I'm no more stress.
Yeah.
You hear that, everybody? No more stress.
Now, right, if
we lose.
Yeah. We're going to get a 5-minute thing maybe before the game, maybe at halftime. We can get a quick live check-in from you.
I get very nervous before, but I'm usually, as my dear friends know, I'm an emotional man. And that game ended and I was ready for the tear. I was like, where is it? Where we did it. And I felt none of that. I watched Josh Allen give his thing and he was choked up and I didn't feel it because the job's not done. This was, of course we beat the Chiefs. Of course, I mean the Ravens. And we're going to beat the Chiefs too. Of course we beat the Ravens. I'm not afraid of the Ravens. I'm not afraid of the Chiefs, but we need to beat them. It is the hero epic saga. It's every hero movie. It's Lord of the Rings. It's anything. This is the final. This is it. This is the boss battle. We're going to vanquish Mahomes. We're going to beat them. Taylor Swift is going to turn into a 784-year-old witch and go back to hell. And that's going to be the end of that and enough of that. So
I think that's a good transition. We'll go a little bit out of order, but we're on a heater right now. So Bills at Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 1.5 points at home. Weather's going to be cold, I imagine.
Well, not that cold.
Warm?
I checked out of curiosity. Mid-30s.
Okay.
How are the diabetics going to do?
Ooh, the diabetics?
No known reported diabetics. I'll deep dive into it, but not that I'm aware
of. Any word on Taylor Rapp? Tyler Rapp?
Nothing yet. Day to day, but the Bills we're dirty little liars. I have no idea. He could be in a full body cast for all I know. We'll know more tomorrow.
Can we get a clone? Can we get a Rapp clone?
We spit out safety clones, no problem. We have Cole Bishop, 2nd round pick. He's now had a full year. He's played a bunch. He's being coached by Micah Hyde. which is why you bring a guy like Micah Hyde back. He'll be fine. The concern here again is this mystery. Where was Matt Milano? And Christian Benford has a concussion from the freaking onside kick, the last play of the game. He got a concussion. We get through those two, but we saw Ray Davis. I mean, Ray Davis looked like, he had to get told what his name was, and he played great, scored a touchdown. So we'll speed this along, this concussion protocol thing. Let's hurry it up.
Good. Listen, I think we're all worried, but we want to see what Mac Hollins is going to wear into the stadium. And Rousseau was a beast, and who's your other line that was just
Epinesa?
That's not
Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver was just making a mess of things. So I'm hoping that I don't know what you do. You spend all week just trying to figure out how to hit Mahomes and keep him contained without giving yourself, without hurting your team with 15-yard penalties. I don't know how you do that. Hopefully, defensive mastermind Sean McDermott can figure it out.
The league's on notice, so I expect them to. This is pretty nationally covered. I expect this to be a little bit more. I don't know if teams are going to get memos, or I don't know what they do behind the scenes, but I expect him to not be able to do that. I also just think we're going to be able to play him defensively. Like, if there's a guy we know how to play on defense, it's Patrick Mahomes.
I would love to see one or two Josh Allen crazy over the top flops, just as a little FU.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does it. If he does that, I would not be shocked. He is a shit starter like that. That's my boy. I think we're in for, this is going to be a vintage Josh Allen game, if you ask me.
We need it. Do it for society. The world needs it. The world is behind you, Mike. We need it to happen.
When the lights get the brightest, this guy is his best.
We need it.
Like I said for last week, you're going to beat us, you're going to have to kill him.
Yeah.
So I feel good.
I'm curious to see.
I feel really good.
Both of these teams, it seems they just get along. They don't make the dumb mistakes, and that's how they've beaten the teams. They jump on you when you make mistakes, and they don't make any themselves. So this is like the unstoppable force, a movable object. Let's see who cracks first. This seems like
lowest turnover rate in NFL history. Sorry to keep shouting stats. 4.2% turnover rate. It's the lowest ever.
Yeah, that makes sense. That feels like
Josh Allen in the playoffs, 30 total touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Good. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep it that way. And then the last game, NFC Beast matchup, Commanders at Eagles. Eagles at home, favored by 6.5 points. There's going to be some juice in this game, Sarah. This is going to be that good old-fashioned NFC East fan hatred. This one's going to get nasty. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, this game I feel like relies very heavily on, the Commanders' defense I'm very concerned about, but I feel like we're really going to see what Jaden Daniels has in terms of his poise here, because going into the link is going to be a very scary place for him, I feel like, and it's going to be tough, but hopefully he can keep being the stone cold killer that he's been and go out there and execute on offense. And if anything, they're just going to have to go like tit for tat with the Eagles in terms of scoring and just not leave it up to their defense at all and not punt. That's how it's going to have to go for them to win this game.
Oh, I would love to see a sad Sirianni at home.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Nothing more.
I don't know who I want to play more or less. I kind of would rather play the Eagles, I think.
Wow.
The way the Commanders just beat the Lions. That's scary.
They have the hot hand. They do.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, they're both good. They're on their best day, they're both good, but I feel like on their worst day, I don't know.
Jaden Daniels plays with a lot of poise.
He does.
He's like a 30-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
He gave an interview, a pregame interview, and I liked him. Like, he seems great. Seems like a great dude. Seems like a really good teammate.
Leader.
He is getting a lot out of, I don't think it's a very extremely talented roster. Zach Ertz, I mean, boy, he revived his whole career.
Yeah.
He's 65 years old?
Yeah, Zach Ertz, I mean, he was on the Eagles
for a long time.
Was he on the Eagles when who was quarterback back then?
It wasn't Vic, was it?
He was probably there before Wentz.
It was Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. I think the Eagles can get pressure. The run game, they're not going to be able to run on the Eagles would be my prediction, and I do think they're going to be able to get a lot of pressure on Daniels, and I think my like outside fan way to play defense with this guy is stop blitzing him.
Yeah, because he was
He's a
tearing them
rookie.
up.
Put guys in coverage, get pressure with 4, maybe 5, and do some disguise coverages, do some things, change the whole reason why McLaurin had that sick touchdown was because they had 3 receivers lined up out left against 2 cornerbacks. Like Aaron Glenn did a terrible job of picking that stuff out. I'm assuming that Sirianni and Vic Fangio will be better prepared for that. I just think it's a rookie. It's a great. This guy's going to be. He might be the best quarterback in the NFC right now, besides Stafford.
And yes, it was 2013. He was on with the Mike Vick, Nick Foles Eagles. He did 34. So shout out Zach Ertz. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I'm trying to think of a better NFC.
Stafford's the only one I got. Dak. I mean, yeah. Dak, New York Giants.
What? Yeah, whoever we end up drafting, you know.
No, Dak on the New York Giants, Shador on the Cowboys. I think the Eagles will also, they have the benefit of just seeing what the Lions made a mistake with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd run the ball. This is a Saquon game.
He's going to have 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I'd bet him to score like 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, let's do it.
I have a crazy fun idea of doing Josh Allen and Saquon Barkley parlayed to each have 3 touchdowns.
Him having Josh Allen having 3?
Yeah.
That's enormous.
I'm
sure those are
2 each would be the furthest I would go.
You can probably still get some good juice on that.
Yeah.
I know, but I love losing money on
right. Sorry.
Bets,
we forgot about that.
I don't want to actually win them.
Forgot about that. Moving on to Heat Check. We got 2 games. We got 2 games this weekend, and we got to find a way to make some money for the people on them. So, Sarah, why don't you start us off here? What do you got for this weekend?
With only 2 games, I didn't want to take anything. I don't know. I wanted to leave the Bills game for you, Mike. So I'm going to go Commanders, Eagles over 47.5 points. I'm probably just biased thinking about how that the Commanders almost did that themselves last week against the Lions. But like you said, I feel like Saquon's going to have a big game. I think the Eagles are going to put up some points. Commanders defense is not very good. And the Commanders offense has been looking great. So I feel like this over should hit. And I don't think the weather is going to be too bad as of now. So I feel like that's a good move, maybe.
I really like that. You've talked me into it, and whatever, betting it over, it's going to make Sunday fun. Why not root for it and hope that the same thing happens? The only thing that scares me a little bit is because I feel like everybody's going to want to bet the over because of what they just saw the Commanders do, and then it's going to be some weird, cold, fucked up game. It's going to be like 19-13. That scares me a little bit, but I don't want to count on that. I'd much rather go with the over. Mike, I'm going to have to jump the gun here. I am not going to leave this game for you, and you're going to hate it because I hate this bet. Chiefs -1.5. Don't bet against the Chiefs in the playoffs. I don't want it to happen. I'm rooting for the Bills, but I'm going to bet the Chiefs until the Chiefs win in the playoffs. We're gonna be sitting here a week from now, furious about how Patrick Mahomes got away with this bullshit again, and the world wants Patrick Mahomes. I hate this bet. I don't believe it. Chiefs -1.5.
He does not hate this bet.
I do hate it. I'm trying to win money.
Look at that sly face.
I'm trying to win money.
I was going to take this, but then I was like, no.
Why don't you both take it? Just why, Sarah, tell me why the Chiefs are going to win.
I was trying to be supportive of you after I felt guilty rooting for the Ravens for a little bit. So I was like, no, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to let Mike feel good going into this week and not second guess it. And Sasha came out and I saw it on here and I was like, not good. But
I will bet this and fully root against it.
He kind of has a point. We've learned our lesson. We said it last year. You can't bet against the Chiefs in the playoffs. We don't have anything else to go by based on history at this point.
Well, Patrick Mahomes lost to Tom Brady, and Josh Allen's better than him.
Everybody knows that.
So you can use that. How's that? There's a stat for you. So I can still take the Bills then.
You can do whatever you want, yeah.
Great. Bills adjusted spread -2.5.
Just okay, -2.5. All right, they're going to win by a field goal.
Honestly, if you're gambling, if you're going to bet the Bills, why would you bet the points? Why would you bet the money line? Just adjust the spread to 2.5. That will get you +130 all day. If you really like the Bills, take them, -6.5 too. Take them for a touchdown. But I -2.5. Tyler Bass game-winning field goal. This time it goes in. We go to the Super Bowl. And
I love that.
I love the over in this game.
Where's it at right now?
47.5. They're both at 47.5.
Okay.
Weird.
One of those is going over.
The Buffalo Bills score 30.
They always do.
You wake up on Sunday, you have coffee, you go for a walk. Sasha, you go down and put some pins in my voodoo doll. And then the Bills score 30 points. That's what happens on Sundays. And I checked, we're playing on Sunday. 30 for the Bills. I guess the Chiefs can get 18.
Well, you guys will let them have that.
So that's what I like. And what'd you say, the over in that Eagles game?
I did. Yeah.
My gut said under, but I'm doing terrible in the playoffs.
You were 1-1 last week. Not terrible.
Was I?
You had the Rams money line, and then you had the Bills Ravens under 51.5. So the Rams lost.
No, I was wrong on that. It was 52, wasn't it?
Bills Ravens. What was the? What was it? I just gave it to you.
20. Thank you, but I.
Oh, you were right. It was. Yeah, it was 20. Yeah, 20.
Wrong. Listen, as long as the Bills are in, this is what I've determined about my heating up and whatever barbershop. The shop's closed during the playoffs. Like, we are focused. I'm doing it in my personal life. I wouldn't take my gambling picks right now, other than Bills -2.5. I can't think straight. I'm not thinking right. So that's it. I'm just a fan. But
You only didn't take
season.
You only didn't take
free.
You only didn't take the Bills last week because I took them before you. So you would have taken them before last week. I'm just saying. There is no part of me that wants the Chiefs to win. I am 100% in your boat. I am basically viewing this as hope. I'm hoping to this is a donation to the cause of, I don't care. I'm losing this money and I want it done.
It's 28-30. Chiefs run it to get to 4th and 3. They bring out Harrison Butker to kick a field goal. I'm sorry. What do you have him at? -1.5? It's 30-29. I just want to ask Sasha where he is here. You've made your bet. It's 30-29. Harrison Butker's trotting out there to hit a 55-yarder. Who are you rooting for?
I mean, I want that missed. I want that. I'm not
You
betting.
want to lose your bet.
Yes, 100%.
That's why I love you.
I want
my best friend. Let's go. Sara. Anything. I walk outside, there's a patch of ice. Are you hoping I slip?
Oh, yes, she is.
Yes, she is.
Of course not. I'm rooting for the Bills this weekend, okay? I don't want the Chiefs to win. No one in their right mind wants to see another Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Sara's hoping you slip and tear an Achilles.
Honestly, it would be good content for the pod. No, I'm not wishing upon it.
We can't even see Mike's ankles.
I'll let you know, because everybody, we've been clamored. The email's been filling up. My left Achilles has made a miraculous recovery due to no, clap it up. Nothing I did. I just woke up one day and it was healed.
That's good. So, that never happens. I feel like usually I wake up in more pain. So, good.
Good immune system.
Shout
Let's
out.
Go.
Strong constitution. As always, finishing up on the football season, lots of good stuff coming, and I got to tell you, as long as the Bills are in it, we got lots of good takes coming. So follow us on Instagram, as always. Watch us on YouTube. See our beautiful shining faces. Send us messages. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what your good picks are, too. Let us know if you're tailing our picks as well. Send us screenshots of what's going on FanDuel and DraftKings. No free ads. But as always, we love you. We appreciate you. Share with your friends and family. We will talk to you next week.